Chosen one. Every single time God looks at you, he smiles. Not because your life is perfect, not because you have everything figured out, but because of something he placed inside you that makes heaven itself take notice. If you leave before this message is finished, you will miss the confirmation your soul has been desperate to hear. Stay with me. I want you to stop for a moment. Right now, before the noise of your day pulls you back in, before the weight of everything you are carrying returns to the surface. I want you to receive something that your heart has needed for longer than you have probably admitted to yourself. And what I am about to say is not flattery. It is not empty encouragement designed to make you feel good for a moment and then fade. It is the truth, the real truth. The kind that comes from the one who sees everything and still chooses to smile. Every time I look at you, I smile. You may not have heard that in a long time. You may have heard the opposite. You may have carried voices that told you that you were too much or not enough. Voices that cataloged your failures with more detail than your victories. Voices that made you feel like your presence in a room was something to apologize for rather than something to celebrate. You may have internalized those voices so deeply that even in your quietest moments you could not fully rest because something underneath was always bracing for the next criticism. And I want to tell you right now that every single one of those voices was wrong. When I look at you, I do not see what those voices said. I do not see the version of you that your worst moments tried to define. I do not see the accumulation of your mistakes or the record of your failures. I see you, the real you, the you that I designed before the world had any say in who you would become. The you that carries something so specific and so irreplaceable that there is no one else in existence who can fill the space you occupy. And when I see that, when I see the fullness of who I made you to be, I smile. Type Amen if you needed to hear today that God looks at you with love and not with disappointment. I want to tell you something about the way I see. Because the way I see is different from the way the world sees, and even different from the way you see yourself. The world looks at what you have produced. It evaluates your worth based on your output, based on your performance, based on whether your results have met a standard that someone else decided was the measure of value. And when the results fall short, the world withdraws its approval. It withholds its affirmation. It makes you feel that your value is conditional on your next achievement. But I do not see that way. I see the whole of you. Not just the moments of success, but the moments of struggle. Not just the days when you showed up fully, but the days when showing up at all was the greatest act of courage you had available. I see the private battles you fought that no one else knew about. I see the prayers you prayed in rooms where no one was watching. I see the love you gave when you were depleted. I see the faith you held when faith felt like the most irrational option. I see all of it, every single layer. And I smile. Not despite what I see. Because of what I see. Because what I see in you is exactly what I placed there. And when I see my own design working in a person, when I see what I created doing what I created it to do, that brings me joy that you cannot fully measure. Type 111 to declare that you receive the truth that God sees you fully and smiles at what He sees. There is something specific about you that I want to name. Not in a vague, general way, but in a way that reaches the part of you that has doubted whether you have anything truly special to offer. You have a quality of heart that is rare, a depth of care that goes beyond what most people are willing to give, a sensitivity to the needs of others that sometimes costs you more than it should, a faithfulness that has remained even in seasons when faithfulness was not rewarded. And that quality, that specific combination of things that makes you who you are, is not an accident. I designed it. Every part of it. The way you love, the way you notice what others miss, the way you carry people in your heart even when they do not know you are holding them. All of it came from me. It is a reflection of something that lives in my own nature. And when I see it moving through you, when I see my own heart expressed in the way you move through the world, something in me responds with joy, with pride in the deepest and most pure sense of the word. The pride of a creator watching what they made become fully what it was designed to be. You are becoming what I designed. Not all at once, not without difficulty, but steadily, faithfully, genuinely. And every step of that becoming makes me smile. Type 777 to affirm that God designed you with intention and that everything you carry came from Him. I want to speak now to the moments when you have felt unseen, the moments when you gave your best and it went unnoticed, the moments when you showed up with everything you had and the room did not respond the way you hoped. The moments when you poured into people and relationships and situations and walked away feeling like what you offered did not land. Those moments are real, and the pain of them is real. And I am not going to minimize what it cost you to keep giving in the face of that kind of invisibility. But I need you to hear this. You were never invisible to me. Not for a single moment. Not in any of those seasons. Every time you gave when you were not recognized, I saw it. Every time you loved when love was not returned at the level you offered it, I recorded it. Every time you showed up faithfully in a space that did not seem to appreciate your presence, I was watching. And not with the passive watching of someone who notices but does nothing, with the active watching of someone who is building a record, who is accumulating an account, who is preparing a response to every single act of faithfulness that went without a natural reward. The response is coming, and it is proportional to everything I recorded. I do not let faithfulness go unanswered. I do not allow genuine love to go without return. What you gave in the seasons when no one was watching was never lost. It was deposited into an account that I control. And the withdrawal from that account is about to begin in ways that will reach every area of your life. Type 333 to declare that God saw every moment of faithful giving, and He is preparing the return. I also want to speak to the shame you have carried, because many of you have been walking around with a low-grade sense of shame that has never been fully named or addressed. It is not always loud, it does not always announce itself clearly, but it is there, underneath the surface, in the way you sometimes shrink when you enter a room, in the way you sometimes over-explain yourself as if your existence requires justification, in the way you sometimes accept less than what you deserve because some part of you believes that less is what you are meant to have. That shame did not come from me. I want to be absolutely clear about that. I did not place shame in you. Shame is not part of my original design for any human being. What I placed in you was dignity. What I placed in you was worth. What I placed in you was the unshakable identity of a chosen one who carries my image and my nature. The shame came from other sources, from words that were spoken over you that were not true, from experiences that distorted the image of who I made you to be, from a world that assigns value based on criteria that have nothing to do with what I actually value. And today, I am undoing it. Not all at once, because healing moves at its own pace, and I am patient with you, but I am beginning the undoing of every false layer that shame placed over your true identity. I am peeling back what was never supposed to be there, and what is underneath is what was always there. What I placed there before the world got its hands on you. Your dignity, your worth, your beauty, your strength. Your irreplaceable specific identity as someone who was chosen by me before the foundation of the world. And when I see that original identity in you, I smile. Type 222 to receive the undoing of shame and the restoration of the dignity God placed in you. I want to speak now about something that happens in heaven when you worship. When you lift your voice or your heart or simply your quiet attention toward me in the middle of your ordinary day. When you choose me in the moment when choosing me costs you something. When you trust me in the moment when trust requires more courage than certainty. Something happens in that moment that you cannot see, but that is very real. Heaven responds, not quietly, not with indifference, with joy. With a response that matches the sincerity of what you offered. When you worship from a broken place, when you lift something toward me with tears still on your face, when you choose faith in the moment when doubt would be the easier option, I lean in. I move toward what you are sending up, and there is something that can only be called delight. A delight that you specifically bring me. That your specific voice, your specific heart, your specific act of reaching toward me produces in me something that I want to name clearly for you today. You bring me joy. Not in a general way. Specifically. The way that only you can, because there is no one else made the way you are made. There is no other expression of my image that looks exactly like yours. And when that unique expression reaches toward me, when you, specifically you, choose me, it matters to me in a way that is personal and specific and not transferable to anyone else. Every time you seek me, I smile. And every time I see you, I smile right back. Type 444 to declare that your worship reaches God and produces joy in heaven that is specific to you. I want to address something that many of you have been afraid to fully believe. The idea that God is proud of you. Not just loving toward you. Not just patient with you. Proud. Because pride feels like a strong word to associate with divinity and humanity together. It feels presumptuous to think that the creator of the universe looks at something as small as your daily faithfulness and responds with something as intimate as pride. But I need you to release that limitation, because it is exactly what I feel. When I see you choose kindness when cruelty would have been easier, I am proud of you. When I see you get up after being knocked down for what feels like the 100th time, I am proud of you. When I see you protect your faith in a world that tries to erode it at every turn, I am proud of you. When I see you love people who have not earned it, I am proud of you. When I see you carry yourself with dignity in seasons that have tried hard to strip it from you, I am proud of you. This is not a God who is perpetually disappointed and occasionally tolerant. This is a God who is deeply, genuinely, specifically proud of the chosen one he is looking at right now, and that chosen one is you. Type 555. If you receive the truth that God is proud of you today, you are still here, and I want you to know that your staying is itself one of the things that makes me smile. Because staying when you could leave, receiving when part of you wants to deflect, believing when belief feels like it costs something. These are exactly the kinds of choices that reveal the depth of what I placed inside you, and depth is what I have always loved most about you. In this second part, I want to go into something more specific. I want to talk about what it actually looks like in your daily life when I'm smiling at you. Because many of you have been walking through your days unable to see the evidence of my delight. You have been looking for confirmation in the big moments and missing the way I have been expressing my joy in the smaller ones. And I want to open your eyes to what has been there all along. The moment you woke up this morning and your first breath came without effort, that was me smiling at you. The thought that crossed your mind that brought you unexpected comfort, that was me leaning in close. The person who said exactly the right thing at exactly the right moment, that was not coincidence. That was me arranging a small delivery of love specifically calibrated for where you were in that moment. The song that came on when you needed to hear it. The memory that surfaced when you needed to be reminded of something true. The unexpected moment of peace in the middle of a difficult season. All of it. Me. Smiling at you. Speaking to you. Reaching toward you in the ordinary language of your daily life. I am not distant. I am not removed and waiting for you to reach a level of worthiness before I engage. I am present. I am active. I am constantly expressing something toward you in the moments that make up your actual life. And what I am expressing in all of those moments is love, delight, the joy of a God who made someone specific and gets to watch them live. Type 66 to open your eyes to the daily evidence of God's delight that has been surrounding you all along. I want to speak now to the chosen ones who have been in a season of feeling far from me, who have gone through something that created distance, whether through pain that made it hard to trust, or through choices that produced guilt, or simply through the exhaustion of a long season that made the spiritual disciplines feel impossible to maintain. I want to speak to the ones who feel like maybe what I said in the first part of this message is true for other chosen ones, but not quite for them. Because they know what they have been through. They know what they have done. They know the gap between who they are and who they feel they should be. Hear me. The smile does not stop during those seasons. It does not dim when you stumble. It does not withdraw when you make mistakes. Because the smile is not based on your performance. It is based on who you are, on what I placed inside you, on the love I have for you that was established before you ever did anything right or wrong. You cannot earn this smile, but you also cannot lose it. It is not a reward for your best days. It is a constant. A permanent expression of how I see you that does not fluctuate with your behavior. This does not mean that the choices you make do not matter. They matter deeply. Not because they change my love, but because they affect your ability to receive it. They affect the clarity with which you can see what has always been there. And what I am doing in this season, even in the season of distance, is working to restore that clarity, to clear the things that cloud your ability to receive what I have never stopped sending. I have not moved away from you. I have been here the entire time, waiting not with frustration, but with patience, with an open posture and a face that has never stopped turning toward you with warmth. Come back to me. Not because I am demanding it, but because what is waiting for you on the other side of the return is more than you know. And I am smiling already at the thought of it. Type 777 to declare that no season of distance can permanently separate you from the love and the smile of God. I want to speak about your future now, because the smile I carry when I look at you is not only a response to who you have been, it is also a response to who you are becoming. And it is a response to what I already see when I look at what is ahead of you. I see the end from the beginning. And when I look at the fullness of your story, when I see what your life becomes in everything I have planned, I do not just smile. I rejoice. What is ahead of you is greater than what is behind you. Not because the past was without beauty or without value, but because the trajectory I have set for your life moves upward. What I am building in you is not moving toward diminishment. It is moving toward fullness, toward the complete expression of everything I placed inside you when I made you. And that fullness has not yet arrived. It is coming. It is being assembled right now from everything you have been through and everything you are still walking toward. And when it arrives, when the fullness of what I designed for you becomes visible in your life, the smile becomes laughter, becomes celebration, becomes the joy of completion. You're not finished. You're not past your best. You're not a declining story. You're a building story. And the chapter you're entering now is one of the most significant ones that has been written. Not the easiest, not without its demands, but significant in the way that the chapters preceding a great breakthrough are always significant. They are the chapters that make the breakthrough possible. They are the chapters that build what the next season requires. And when you step into what is next, I will be smiling. I will always be smiling. Type 888 to declare that your story is still building and the best chapters are still ahead. There is something I want to give you before this message ends. Something practical that you can carry into every day that follows. A way of living that is rooted in the truth of what I have spoken. I want to give you permission. Permission to take up space without apology. Permission to walk into rooms as someone who belongs there. Permission to receive love without immediately looking for the catch. Permission to believe good things about your future without calling it presumptuous. Permission to rest without earning it first. You have been living with an invisible permission slip that was written by voices that did not have authority over you. Voices that said your space in the world was conditional, that your worth was negotiable, that your place was always a little lower than you were reaching for. And I am taking that permission slip back right now. I am replacing it with the one that I wrote over you before you were born. The one that says you are welcome, fully welcome, not tolerated, not accommodated, welcomed by the Creator of everything, into the life He designed specifically for you. Walk in that, live in that. Let it change the way you enter rooms. Let it change the way you receive what others offer you. Let it change the way you look in the mirror. Not with arrogance, but with the quiet confidence of someone who knows exactly who made them and exactly what that maker thinks of what he made. He smiles every single time, without exception, without condition. He sees you and he smiles. Type 9999 to receive the permission God has written over your life and declare that you will walk in it from this day forward. I want to close with something that I hope you carry long after this message ends. Long after the feelings of this moment fade and the ordinary demands of life return. I want you to carry a knowing, a quiet, settled, unshakable knowing that lives underneath everything else. That no matter what a day brings, no matter what a season requires, no matter what voices try to speak against your worth or your identity or your place in this world, there is a God in heaven who looks at you and smiles, not because you performed well today, not because you got it all right, not because your faith was strong enough or your prayer long enough or your life clean enough, simply because you are you. Because you are the specific, irreplaceable expression of His image that He designed, and He loves what He made. He loves you, specifically, personally, without condition and without end. Every morning when you rise, He sees you. Every night when you rest, He is watching over you. Every moment in between, when you are living the ordinary, unremarkable minutes that make up most of a human life, He is present, attentive, engaged, and on His face, in response to what He sees when He looks at you, is the same expression it always been, a smile. You are chosen. You are seen. You are loved with a love that has no bottom and no end, and the God who made everything looks at you, specifically at you, and smiles every single time. Type yes and amen to receive the full truth of everything spoken in this message today, and share this with someone who needs to be reminded that they are seen by God and that what He sees makes Him smile.